Obama have pursued for 4 years while you were in office and that he has pursued since?
Well, Amy, I think it's clear that the increasing threat posed by North Korea requires not only a rethinking of the strategy, but an urgent effort to convince the neighbors, most particularly China, that this is not just a U.S. Issue. And I think we have an opening here that we haven't had for the last several years, that I intend to do everything I can to take advantage of. But we're also going to support and equip our allies in the region with the missile defense systems that they require to protect themselves. That is not something that either the North Koreans or the Chinese or the Russians in the region are particularly pleased about, but what is the alternative? We are not going to let anyone who is a treaty ally and partner of ours be threatened, and we are not going to let North Korea pursue a nuclear weapon with the ballistic missile capacity to deliver it to the United States territory. That is absolutely a bottom line, and if other countries want to assist us in this effort, we welcome that, and we will engage in intensive discussions as soon as possible.
Secretary Clinton, you put out a statement earlier today saying that you support President Obama's call for additional sanctions on North Korea, but they've faced sanctions for years, and clearly it hasn't stopped them from moving forward on their nuclear program. So how will a few more sanctions help, and would you consider the kinds of negotiations that you pushed for with Iran?
Well, the answer to the second question is yes, because we faced a similar problem in 2009. As a senator, I voted for every sanction that was put before the Senate against Iran in our effort to try to prevent Iran from moving forward on a nuclear program. It didn't stop them. They acquire and put into operation a significant number of centrifuges. So our sanctions, despite our best efforts, were not enough. And although we have international sanctions against North Korea, some of which I helped to negotiate when I was there, they aren't enough either. And they aren't enough for the very same reason I was responding to Amy about. They're not enough because China has not yet made the decision that it needs to make, that North Korea poses a threat to the region and poses a threat to the kind of stable border relationship that China has always valued with North Korea. So we are going to continue to look at how we tighten sanctions, because I do think there is a role for sanctions. The regime in North Korea lives off of goods and material that can be smuggled in to keep their lifestyle and their love of luxury going. So I think there's a lot more we can do, and it will be on the top of my list in dealing with China on how we're going to prevent what could very well be a serious conflict with North Korea.
Is it possible to negotiate with the North Koreans?
Well, Jennifer, you know, you don't talk about leverage until you actually produce leverage. And I believe that we do have leverage with China, and I believe, based on my extensive discussions when I was Secretary of State, that there's even a conversation starting within China about how to handle the changes in the North Korean regime. China has no interest in seeing the kind of buildup which we are going to be doing. And I will stress this and underline it. We will not leave our friends and allies unprotected. And we will do everything we can to put in the most effective missile defense system against anything that North Korea does. Chinese are not happy about that. We have a lot of leverage, and we're going to exercise that leverage, and we're going to put together the kind of negotiations that I think can lead to a beginning of containing and controlling the behavior of the North Korean government, which has the danger of affecting everyone, including China. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Secretary Clinton, do you have a response to Donald Trump appearing on Russian-funded television?
Every day that goes by, this just becomes more and more of a reality television show. It's not a serious presidential campaign. And it is beyond one's imagination to have a candidate for president praising a Russian autocrat like Vladimir Putin and throwing his lot in with him in the way that he has approved of his wish list, and not even really understanding what Putin has already done, like invading and occupying Crimea. We are living in challenging times, and that certainly was reinforced by the excellent discussion we had today. No one who wants to assume the responsibility of being president and commander-in-chief should be making the kind of reckless and dangerous statements and identifying with a regime that has some aggressive tendencies toward our interests, our values, our friends and allies. So can I say I was surprised? I'm not sure anything surprises us anymore, but I was certainly disappointed that someone running for president of the United States would continue this unseemly identification with and praise of the Russian president, including on Russian television. Thank you all.
I call on value voters all over this country to understand the battle that we're in. We lost Phyllis Schlafly, who understood that battle better than any. But in her memory, go out and fight. This race is so winnable. All we need to do is keep our eye on the ball. A big change in Washington, a throwing off the shackles of elitism, a Supreme Court that reflects the values of our founding, not those of the European Union Constitution. Donald Trump said it, and he's right, and I'll finish with it. This race, if we lose, Hillary Clinton will appoint a new Supreme Court justice. And that will create a 5-4 majority that will begin a process. And the process will be continued because there's 2 other liberal justices on that court, both of whom are advanced in age, and I have no doubt will retire during the next 4 years if Hillary Clinton is president. And those 2 will be replaced with 2 other 50-somethings who are as liberal as the other 2 on the court right now. There will be 5 50-something-year-old radicals on the court who believe the Constitution is at best an annoyance and at worst a document that should be shredded on the ash heap of history. They believe the Constitution isn't worth the paper it's printed on. And that's how they now rule. Donald Trump said today, and I echo it, if Hillary Clinton is elected, those 5 justices will be on that court for 25 years. And you, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are sitting on the sideline say, I can't vote for somebody because, well, pick a reason. You will be responsible for the end of a republic because our Constitution will no longer stand. You have 1 shot. It may not be the shot you wanted. It wasn't the shot I wanted. Remember, I ran. I wanted the perfect candidate, but I lost. So I have to take what the American public gave us, and they gave us a chance. They gave us a chance. Seize it. God bless you. Thank you.
Now I'm going to give you your choice. I can give you a couple of announcements, you can leave, or I can share my personal testimony. Which would you prefer? Thank you, folks. You made it through the whole day. I'm so proud of you. So let me just go through these announcements quickly. Tony Perkins is doing his live broadcast for until 6 o'clock. If you'd like to sit in for part of that over in the exhibit hall, please go over to the exhibit hall. We would love it if you would support our exhibitors. Let's see. And you can also check out their giveaway times, get your passbooks signed for those awesome headphones we've been talking about. The drawing is tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Don't forget the action-packed reception that begins at 5:30 in the Congressional Room. Oklahoma Wesleyan's Hospitality Suite is open until 5:30 today. Remember, we have a student mixer tonight to talk about family, life, drugs, guns, religious freedom with Todd Starnes and other FRC experts. That's at 5:30 in the Empire Room. And remember, free pizza, just show your badge. The values bus is going to be available today and tomorrow. Just follow the signs if you want to hop on board, take a closer look. Remember, we have 2 options tonight after the evening sessions, the second vote dessert reception, or you can actually stay here and watch the movie Torchbearer starring Phil Robertson. Tomorrow at 11:30 to 1:30, they're going to be hosting a job fair meet and greet in the exhibit hall. And again, we want to have you participate in the conversation with Twitter. Enter your comments using hashtag VVS16. We will reconvene at 7:15 tonight, not 7:30, 7:15. Be here sharp. And got a tremendous lineup tonight that you won't want to miss. Please take your materials with you, and we'll see you this evening. Have a good dinner. Thank you.